What's up, y'all? It's Jesse Boats, aka J-Bone, and I am back. I'm back to give you a new rookie guide, and this time it's for the Earth Day tournament. That's right, the Earth Day tournament is the newest tournament presented by Playdemic, and it starts on Monday. It consists of 9 holes on the Kokasho Bay course, and what we're going to do today is we're going to go through those holes one by one, and I'm going to show you the different routes you can take, and maybe the ones that I suggest as well. Hopefully by watching this video you will be able to improve your tournament play and the standings that you finish in. We just came off of 2 tournaments before this one in back-to-back weeks. We had the St. Patty's Day tournament and then the Spring Major, which was the first of 4 major tournaments on the year. So hopefully everybody did pretty good in the major tournament. And it's time to move on to the next one. We had a few days break, and now it's time to get back down to business. We got the music going. We got the decorative motif in the background. So we're ready to go. First thing I want to do is make sure you all go to my YouTube page and hit that subscribe button. By doing this, you will allow yourself to be notified when I do drop new videos. If you do like this video, give it the thumbs up. This tells me that you liked it and that you appreciated it. If you do have comments on things that you think I could do to improve my videos, make sure to leave those constructive criticisms in the comment box. I welcome them. If you do really like the video and you just wanted to say, hey, this video was badass, leave that comment in the comment box as well. So first off, what we're going to do is make sure you all go to Facebook and give us a search. Give us a search for the 19th hole, and that is the new community page that I started about a month ago. We're already at 400 members strong, and this is a great community page, especially if you're a newer golfer looking for a place to go to ask a lot of questions. We've got plenty of members there that have a lot of knowledge in the game and are ready, willing, and eager to help you improve your game. So we're going to go ahead and get started on hole number 1. Hole number 1 on this course is a par 4, and there's a couple different ways you can play this course. Play this hole. First off, from the tee box, we're playing the first tee box right here. That's where the rookies will play from. You have 2 different options. If you want to play the safe option, you can play your shot this way. Okay, we're looking to bounce in this area right here and roll into this zone right here. You might want to use just a tad bit of topspin, not too much, because you don't want to roll too far into that rough or that bunker. You might also want to put a little bit of right curl on your shot as well, just to curl it around that bunker as well. The more aggressive approach, which is the one I will be taking, is I'll be taking my tee shot right over here. We'll be bouncing off that spot right there and rolling into this zone right here. Doing that, you will leave yourself a short long iron to the green, and in my opinion, you'll leave yourself the best chance at the eagle. Okay, if you're taking this approach, which we're going to call number 1, we're going to call this number 2. If you're taking approach number 1, you want to make sure you use full top spin, full right spin, and some right curl. Okay. If you're using approach number 2, you don't want to use a whole lot of top spin. You do want to use some right spin though, and some right curl. All right. So for the second shots on this hole, if you're taking your shot from the second approach, so that would be in this zone right here, you're going to want to probably use a Viper or a Sniper. Back to the tee box, I would probably use the extra mile tee box. Okay, so back to the second shot now. From the number 2 spot, we're going to be using the Viper or the Sniper. And what you want to do is you do want to bounce it in the front part before those bunkers, and then up onto the green from there. Okay. So you do want to use probably about 2 to 3 bars of backspin on that shot as well. Okay. So if you're taking your second shot from the number 1 position, you do actually want to land this shot past the bunkers. Okay. And you're going to use probably 4 to 5 backspin, and you will be using probably your backbone or possibly your Saturn on that second shot. And you do want to make sure you use enough backspin to stop the shot, and you just kind of want to line your shot up with the hole. and adjust for your wind from there. All right, and that's pretty much how you're going to play hole number 1. And let's move on to hole number 2. Hole number 2 is a par 5. So let's see, we can write that up here. Par 5. Okay. And the secret off this tee box is really not that much of a secret. You just want to hit your drive as far up that fairway as you can and roll it as close to the edge of the rough as you can without going in the rough. I know, it sounds difficult. What you will do is if you get that drive up next to the rough, you will set yourself up for a second shot where you do have a slight possibility of getting on the green in 2. Most of you, if you do not have the clubs to do that, you're going to want to just get your ball up the fairway and play it safe on that first shot. And you either have 2 options. Okay. For your second shot, from this area right here, okay, you have 3 options from here. You can play your shot to here. Okay. You can play your shot to here. Or this might be something you want to practice on qualifying, like Monday or something like that. If you feel like you have a big dog with enough distance, okay, from that second shot right here, from this shot right here, you can put a curl on your ball. You're going to land it in this section right here with a lot of top spin and right spin. You're going to jump just over the water, hit this rough, and roll up towards the green. I did it in the last tournament, which was the Thanksgiving Day tournament, so I know it's possible, but you do need to have a big dog that is capable of doing it. If you go to line up your shot and it doesn't look like the end of that ball guide is going to get over that water, you're probably not going to make the shot, so you probably don't want to attempt that one, okay? You probably want to stick with the shot here or here, okay? The good thing about this shot right here is it is a little bit farther of a shot, but in my opinion, it does line you up with a much better shot at the hole, okay? If you come from this shot right here, you're coming over the sandbar, okay? So if we zoom in on the green here, you can see your landing zone from the left side will be landing in here. Your landing zone from a little bit farther shot would be landing in here. Okay, so you have a lot more room to work with if you do land it from back here, up here, as opposed to here to there. Okay, see the landing zone difference is right there. Some people like to have that little bit extra room on their shot, so I'm going to leave that one up to you. You can decide what you're more comfortable with doing. I'm just giving you the options. So we are going to move on to our next hole, hole number 3, and this is a par 3, of course. Okay, and we're going to zoom in on this one a little bit. All right, so what we're going to be doing here on this par 3 is you're going to probably be using your Saturn or your Rock on this par 3. If you do have a higher level Goliath club, maybe at least level 5 or above, you could possibly use that. The only problem with that lower levels is it doesn't have the same amount of backspin as, let's say, the Backbone or the Saturn. So you're probably going to be using the Saturn or the Backbone on this shot. You will be using some backspin on this shot because you will be landing your ball in this zone right there. Okay. You're going to be using about 2 to 3 bars of backspin if you have headwind, and about 3 to 4 bars of backspin if you have tailwind. And also keep in mind that this shot will be affected by the wind, so maybe add a little bit extra, 10%, because this is a downhill shot, so it will be affected by the wind a little bit more. Okay. And basically, other than that, you just kind of line your shot up with the pin. I like to line my shot up a little bit left of the hole and let it roll to the hole. Some people like to go straight at the pin as well. Just make sure you do adjust for wind and give yourself a little bit extra adjustment for that extra adjustment, about 10% more, I would say. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next hole, and this is hole number 4, and hole number 4 is a par 4. Imagine that, hole number 4, a par 4. What you're going to be using is you're going to use your extra mile. You could use your rock or your quarterback on this one, because there's really only so much you can do on this hole off the tee box. So if you do want a more controlled drive and you want to make sure your ball is going where you want it to go, that rock or quarterback may be the solution. But if not, you can use the extra mile, because really what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going up in this zone right here. Okay. Anywhere from that zone, you should be able to get to the green in 2. Okay. For that second shot, you're going to be using probably a Viper, your Sniper, or your Guardian. If you don't have those really leveled up, or you don't feel comfortable with it, you can still use your big dog from that shot too. The second shot is a downhill shot to the green, so your ball may fly a little bit more. So when you are aiming your shot right in that area, make sure to give yourself just a little bit extra room between your landing zone and that rough. Otherwise, you might hit that rough and you'll be looking at your third shot out of the rough, and that ain't no fun. So just keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind for your shot. I would use about 2 or so bars of backspin on your second shot. So you're going to be hopping it right here. Over that, you want to hit just on the edge of that green to roll your ball up to the hole. Definitely a possible eagle hole, but we won't probably see a whole lot of people getting the eagle on this hole. Definitely want to make sure you get the birdie on this hole. One other thing to keep in mind is if on your drive you do go too far into the rough or the bunker, you still possibly could probably get your ball to the hole in 2 shots. But your chances of that eagle are probably slim to none at that point. All right, so we're going to move on to our next hole. And our next hole is hole number 5, and it is a par 3. This hole seems like it's a tricky one. Yes, it seems like it's a tricky one. For the rookies, in my opinion, there's only really one way to play this hole, and that is right here. Okay, you want to land your shot here, and because of the way the fairway is shaped back towards that bunker, your ball will hit and then bounce towards the pin. So you do want to make sure you're using a club with a good amount of ball guide on it so you can see the direction of what your ball is going to do. I would suggest the Sniper if you have it, or the Viper. Okay, that would be my suggestion. You do, however, want to make sure you do not end up on that area of the green. Okay, because if you end up here, that ball is going to roll back. Okay, and you will be stuck with one of those putt sticks. You cannot make it to the hole. So make sure that when you're playing this hole, you either go at the hole or get on that fringe somewhere up there, so that you have a putt or an easy chip into the hole for the birdie. All right. So we're gonna move on to our next hole. This is hole number 6, and this is a par 5. And this is an albatross hole. Yes, this is an albatross hole. Yeah, this is an albatross hole. All right, par 5. All right. So this hole, I think is sometimes intimidating to people. Pull out the extra mile, because you're going to use your extra mile. And you do have 2 options. You can go off the tee box here, bounce there. Okay? There's your one option. Your second option is to go off the tee box, bounce here, with a lot of topspin, get in this area somewhere. Okay? If you do take, I'm going to call this option 2, and this one over here option 1. If you do option 1, make sure to use your maximum amount of top spin, and you want to use A little bit of left curl. I would say about half a ball, at least a ball, half a ball of left curl on that shot, because you do want it to have enough momentum to carry through that rough if you hit the rough. If I remember correctly, when I played this hole, I think I had an extra mile 5, and I wasn't hitting the rough. I was carrying over the rough and down the fairway. I think my ball was actually ending up down in this zone somewhere, so it was setting me up for a fairly easy second shot. If you do go number one way, make sure you use a little bit of topspin, not too much, because you do not want to carry too far into that bunker or this rough over here. And then there are some people who just play off the tee box, blast their shot, bounce here, and roll up as far as they can up into that rough. Okay, some people do play it that way. I wouldn't recommend it, but you will see some people play it that way as well. All right, so from this zone up here, if you're able to get right here, okay, or if you're right here. So from this back section right here, your shot is going to be up here, bounce onto the green. All right, and you will have to use some right curl and some top spin, and maybe a little bit of right spin. Kind of have to play that one by ear, feel that one out as you're getting your shot ready. But if you're playing it from this one right here, hopefully you have your Viper or your Sniper. And what you're going to do, all right, let's see if we can get this here. What you're going to do is you want to land your shot right in here, okay? Yes, I know. Am I crazy? I may be crazy, but this is a shot you got to make if you want to get the albatross. So you're going to land your shot there with a little bit of topspin, and it's just gonna skip right off that rough. Don't be too intimidated, because the edge of that water is still like considered sand bunker, but it does roll off of there. So what you want to do is, in the rookie, you're not going to have a whole lot of wind. So you're going to aim your shot, adjust for your topspin, and then you're going to adjust for your wind. Okay, and if you're using the Viper, pretty much about 2 miles per hour per ring, depending on your level and your accuracy. If your accuracy is 50, that means you got 2 miles an hour per ring for your adjustment. Okay, so if you got a 50 and we have 4 mile an hour wind, you're going to adjust 2 bars. Okay, and you just want to make sure the edge of that second bar is in the rough to give you that nice little skip to the hole. If you execute the shot, the ball's going to hit the rough, roll on the green, and right into the hole for the albatross. It's possible. I did it in the last tournament. Otherwise, I would not be suggesting it. Okay. So if you don't want to do that, you can always just make your shot straight to the green with a lot of backspin. And you could use the back part of the green, because the back part of the green does slope back to the hole. So you can use that part of the green to filter your ball back to the hole if you want. Same way if you go with the left approach, where you have to curl it off this island right here. If you got to curl it off this island right here, you can use the back of the green to slope it back to the hole as well there too. Okay. All right, next hole. Oh boy, this is the fun one. This is the fun one, y'all. You see all them little bumps and divots and dimples in the fairway? Yeah, that's what makes it fun. Let's see, we're gonna break this down. We're gonna try to break this one down as good as I can break it down. So you got several options. You're gonna probably be using your long iron if you try this option 1, and you might be using your wood if you try option 2, and you definitely be using your wood if you try option 3. So with option 1, what you want to do is you want to bounce it right back here on this flat zone, okay? And from there, you're going to roll it. It's going to bounce about there, and then roll up and over that hill into the green, okay? The issue with that is if you don't hit a perfect shot, you could hit your shot and end up over here in the rough, okay? That's that option right there. Option number 2 is when you want to land it right there on that that plateau. There's like a flat spot in that little plateau right there, and you're just gonna bounce it over here and roll it to the green. Okay, whoop, roll it to the green. bounce, roll. All right. Option number 3 is going to be an option if you have like a guardian or something with some backspin, because you're going to hit that spot right there. Right there in that little valley, there's another flat spot. If you can hit that spot, you can hop over that hill and roll back to the hole as well. And just so you know, the green does filter this way. Okay, so if you get your shot in that area of the green, your ball should filter back to the hole. So that is that par 3. In my opinion, that might be one of the most difficult holes on the course. The ace on this hole is going to be very rare. So if you do get the ace, you can pretty much like count that as a stroke you've picked up on the whole field, because not many people are going to be getting the ace on that hole, in my opinion. You know, watch someone prove me wrong and like ace it 4 times. I don't know. If you do, comment in my comments and I will eat my words. So we're going to move on to our next hole. And this is hole number 8. And this is a par 4. Okay. Basically, you have 2 options off the tee box. You can play it safe, or you can go for it. Okay. Those are your 2 options. If you play it safe with option number 1, you do want to make sure you use backspin, because if you play it safe and end up in the rough, you're pretty much screwed on this hole. You're probably going to get a par. So make sure to use the backspin on hole number 1. I mean, on option number 1. You can use your extra mile. If you know you're going to play it safe, you can pull out your quarterback or even your rock with that really awesome ball guide, so that you exactly know where your ball is going to go. Sometimes with the extra mile, you don't know, because the ball guide ain't that great. Not to mention the accuracy on the quarterback or the rock are pretty cool. So if you're going to go with option number 2, you're going to want to bounce it in this circle right here. And if you do have enough topspin, or maybe you have enough power to get it up here, which is possible depending on the type of wind we get. If you get it to the second hot right here, you can probably easily get it onto the fairway. If you don't get it onto that second spot and you bounce it right here, you're probably going to roll somewhere in there, depending on the amount of topspin you have. If you have a lot of topspin, you might roll into the fairway, but if you don't, you probably end up in the rough, which is still a very easy second shot to the green from there. If you're taking your second shot from over here, you do want to have something like maybe the Viper, or if you have a sniper, possibly that, because you do want the ball guide if you do want a chance at getting the eagle on this hole. Otherwise, probably a birdie. You'll probably see most people getting a birdie on this hole. Not really a very big, high quantity eagle hole, in my opinion. And that brings us to our last hole, which is hole number 9. This hole right here may give some people some issues. You're definitely going to use your extra mile, because you got to get some distance on your drive down the fairway. And then for your second shot, you're going to use your big dog, or if you have a leveled up Viper, you could use your Viper as well. So what you're going to be doing off this shot right here is you're going to be bringing it here, and you want to bounce it right in here, and you want to have some left spin and left curl to bring it over this way. Okay. If you miss it great to the right, or you don't have enough curl or spin, you might roll into the rough here or into the bunker over here, and we do not want that. No, we don't. No, we don't. So go ahead, use the proper amount of spin and curl, and just make that good shot and get over here. Okay. From that spot right there, you will be able to take your second shot to the green. Okay. You will bounce it over here and roll up onto the green, and you're going to want to use probably a couple bars of backspin on that shot to stop the ball, and give you a possible chance. Yes, this is a par 5. A possible chance at an albatross. Probably will see very few albatrosses here. You do definitely want to make sure that you get the eagle, and that's why I say to make sure on your drive you stay to the left side, because I believe this fairway does slope to the right. So if you do stay too close, get too close over here to this edge, I believe, like even up here, I do believe your ball may roll off into the rough, so you do want to try to stay over on this side of the fairway. And I may be wrong on that, but I think I'm right, because I believe that happened to me in the last tournament. So there's your tip. That might save you a stroke. So anyways, that's all I got. So if y'all have any extra questions for me, make sure to drop it in the comment section, or you could even join us. You can come to the 19th hole and leave us a message there on the message board, or you can look me up on Facebook Messenger and send me a message that way. If you want to look me up on Facebook, just search this name right here, JESSEBOOTH. Okay. My icon says something about the 19th hole, so that's how you know it's me. So if you look up that name and add me, you can ask me questions that way. So I do want to make sure that I let you all know to keep checking my YouTube channel. I will be posting some shots of the holes on Tour 8. Since I played Tour 3 today about 15 times and didn't see a hole, I guess there's not going to be any holes on that tour. I was told that I thought initially that there were going to be holes on those tours, but I guess not. I guess Tour 8 is the only tour where you can play the holes for this course. And that will be from the Pro Expert tee, but you can still kind of get an idea of the holes and how to play them if you watch that and you're playing the rookie. Just keep in mind the wind won't be quite as bad, and the distance from the tee box to that first landing zone won't be quite as far. But other than that, it's about the same. I think that's about all I have for y'all today. On Monday, I will be posting a wind guide. So if you do want to hold off and play your round later on Monday, you can watch my wind guide first and know all of the winds that you will encounter during your round. Yes, that's right. You can know the winds before you play the round. And that can be quite helpful off the tee box. That way you know what kind of adjustments you need to make already, and you won't be kind of like just, at the last moment trying to figure out where to move your ball guide and all that stuff. So you'll have a little bit of extra time on your shot. If it's like any other hole, any other tournament on the rookie division, it'll probably be mostly tailwinds and probably some tail side winds for the par 3s, if I had to guess. No headwinds. And probably winds anywhere from 3 to 5 miles per hour. That would be my guess. So make sure you check that on Monday, probably afternoon, sometime after lunch. I'll get that wind guide released, and I will release a wind guide for the Pro Division as well. So no guide for the Pro Division, but there will be a wind guide for the Pro Division. So, and also the practice holes are all for the Pro Division as well. So anyways, hopefully y'all enjoyed this guide. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the music in the background, and definitely the decorative motif that I got behind me. So until Monday, get y'all some practice. Good luck. Peace out. God bless.